So I think it's two reasons really. First, trust. Bosses don't trust their employees if they don't see them around being productive, working at their desk. Now, this is such an old-fashioned view, but it's very true for companies that have a culture based on control, where there's not so much of a culture of trust. So here, they want them to come back to see they are productive. Now, the second reason is, in my opinion, that there's companies out there that know that employees are in the office at certain days at the right time when they coordinate, uh, then they have benefits in productivity as well as collaboration as well as retention. So people will feel a sense of belonging, and yeah, they'll just have a better work experience. Quite frankly, not everyone has a good place to work at home. And if you have a small apartment in a large city, you may not have this height adjustable desk. You may not have the double monitors. So that's why I think people are coming back. The third element to it, and that is employees who stay more at home might be less likely to get promoted. Now, some employees may know that deep down inside them. And I don't think that's a great thing, but I get it. And there is early studies out there that say if you're more in the office, if you have more face time, that will be beneficial for your career. I'm curious to see the more long-term studies on that. So here I see two things really. The first is the entire productivity innovation topic, where coming in on the right days with the right people, with the right colleagues, will increase productivity on tasks that require quite a bit of collaboration. If they're highly iterative, if they're really complex, you need a whiteboard to brainstorm, things like that. It makes sense to be in the same room here or be available in the same space. And the other thing is retention. So if you meet your colleagues, your friends, your working spouse in the office, you'll feel better, you feel more of a sense of belonging, you feel more loyalty to the brand, to the company, and that improves retention because a lack of belonging is one of the primary reasons why employees quit their jobs. So those two things, and what they have in common here is the coordination. Because just saying employees are coming back to the office now doesn't mean there's any benefit per se, because you could be coming back on a Monday just to find out that I'm not in the office and we actually should work together, or we were hoping to meet each other in the office, but I'm coming in on a Tuesday. So not only did you commute and you're already regretting it because nobody else is there, but you also have to come in again on another day to hope that I'm there. So here the coordination aspect is huge. So this is where companies benefit in the end. If coordinated, there's productivity and there's retention. You think of one other thing regarding the net promoter score. So employees recommending their employers, and they seem to be less likely to do so when they're being forced to the office in a more structural way. So on certain days, they have to be in or not. So Professor Johann Abad conducted a very interesting study on this, and I'm not sure if the results are out there or not yet, but this is certainly a study to follow to really get the insights there, how that affects, in the end, your company to be able to hire new talent. Doing one big company meeting, a town hall, and telling everyone, hey, you are now coming back, will not work. That's certain. I think you need to have two things in place. One, hybrid policies, and second, a good workplace, set up a good experience. So by hybrid policies, they're more flexible, more strict ones. I think it's up to the culture, up to the type of activities employees are doing to choose the right way. But here we've heard years ago already from Linda Grattan and HSM that freedom of choice is super important. to again push happiness, employee happiness. So having the right hybrid policies in place is totally a strategic topic when transitioning to a new work model. And to the second point, the workplace setup, you need great equipment. Stuff employees don't have at home, something they value in the office. And there's a big trend, especially corporate real estate managers, facility managers, and office managers see this from having a workplace that is focused on desks to a workplace that's more focused on working possibility, let's call it. So we've seen a model in the past where 70% was desks, 30% was meeting rooms, lounges, phone booth areas, so more collaborative workspaces. And the trend seems to go towards a more 40-60, 40% desks, 60% flex spaces, meeting rooms, and all of that. Because companies, quite frankly, need less desks because people are coming in general less to the office. So if you balance that, if you coordinate that in the right way, you can actually do with quite a low desk ratio of probably around 0.4, 0.5. And that is a huge, huge decrease compared to pre-pandemic times, where it was probably around 0.8 to 1. So here I think companies will also have to follow a trend around the workplace setup.